weekend. I hope everyone had a good time and is ready, back, refreshed, got some nice rest in, and ready to kill it this week. So we're gonna do what we always do. Are going to jump backwards to the monthly here. And so we can see on the monthly, we've come off of the 50 SMA right here on the monthly basis. We're above the previous month's high. And we're kind of just, in the middle of this previous balance here, getting a little bit of resistance off of that balance high. But we're still maintaining this uptrend, so we're still going to keep watching this uptrend. We know we're in a long-term downtrend, and we're kind of in that make it or break it zone. So it seems as if the market is kind of just still awaiting a little bit more information and hasn't really made the decision of what it wants to do on a monthly basis. Jumping down to the weekly, you can see on the weekly here, and this is a kind of an interesting look, is the previous the previous week's range is an inside week, right? And so here we are opening up about, probably 50% of the previous week's range, but still inside. So immediately you've got to think that 39.35 is going to be a level to watch as of right now. That's where that 20 SMA is at. That balance low 39.51. And an interesting look is, if you look back the previous time the market was in this range, we kind of had this outside week and then another big outside week. So we had this kind of volatility pickup, it constricted, and then started to expand, and then eventually came down lower. And so we kind of saw that same thing right here. So you had kind of like this inside week, expanded on both sides, and then came higher. So they got rid of that. And so basically it's like this big position that pushed the market down is out of the market now. And the market's just kind of sitting here waiting for more information. So it's really hard to be biased at this point until the market breaks that previous week's range. And even then, you still have really, you're inside the range from the 11-14, and that's going to become the key levels that you want to watch after that. So it's a tough market to decipher today for sure. Switching over to the daily here, we can see we've basically just been kind of sitting in this balance for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days in a row now. And I mean, you could really just see like the market tested the upside, tested the downside, tested back to that same spot, and is now kind of moved lower, opening up on a little bit of a gap lower here, and kind of pushing back down to some of these previous levels. So I think some previous levels, at 39.83 was a level I was watching earlier, and then maybe down here 39.73. We'll have to take a peek at the profiles and see. But you could see it kind of just got resistance off that same spot. Didn't quite get up to that 200 SMA. So we'll have to just keep watching it. And you can see the kind of even though it ended as that down day on Friday, look, volume was very, very weak on Friday. So I don't even know if we're really counting that. All right, switching over to the profiles here. We can see, so this is the 23rd, which was Wednesday, and then of course we have the holiday, and then this is Friday, so even a half day on Friday. So I kept the settle in the last from Wednesday, the last full day that we had before the holiday. And I mean, you could probably just merge these two like this, and you can kind of see where the weak spot's at, right? And if you just merge the cash sessions here, you can kind of see where the weak spot's at, 40-40. So we can assume that that's probably where the target would be if there's a break of the upside 40-24. That's probably where that target's going to be 40-40. And this is kind of an interesting thing here. We use the settle, so we've got overnight inventory is 100% net short, but what I'm kind of thinking here, especially, oh, we've got, it's only 9:10, we've got time. So, especially with it ending right here in these single prints, is if we did combine all these cash profiles, then the gap's really only to about that 4,003 quarter, because we figure if they were going to close out any positions before the holiday, it would have been on this date anyways. So getting below that is not really going to cause as many margin calls per se, I don't think. Maybe down here to test this VPOC to shore up the structure a little bit, but we'll kind of see. But I'm thinking if they can close this gap back to that 3/4, even though if we were to like look at the real gap and it'd be up to like I guess this A high really. I think that that'll bring in some buying and that could look to be pushing it back towards like that 40-21-50, that half back from Wednesday. And then let's see how these single prints act. We do have overnight point of control with 13, so not really that wide for overnight. Poor low on the overnight, kind of indicating that not as much supply down at those lower prices. We're right at that key psychological level 4,000. Gap rules are in play, of course. And if we really zoom this thing out and you kind of look at this, if the market does break lower, we have to kind of apply balance rules. And your 50% retracement, you've got 39.50 to 39.10. Where would your 50% retracement be at? Probably like 87.75 ish. You have one VPOC down here at the 60, so even maybe that 54 could be a target if there's no hold here. So that's kind of the plan today, I think. If the market is able to kind of hold this 87.75 on any downside, I'll be looking to buy that and try to take that up. If it doesn't hold this and gets below it, we could probably just go with that, and the target there will probably be this VPOC down here, 39.60. And remember, 39.22 was a key level of this past couple of weeks, and there's still a ways below that here. So even a deeper pullback to that 39.54 honestly could be bought if you can wait till it gets there, I think. But we'll have to kind of wait and see, right? Because we're not that close to it. Switching over to the individual stocks here. Morning, Roach. Morning, Dad. Morning, Liquor. Um, do it from the. Oh no, never mind. Up. All right, let's take a peek at the dollar here, and you can see the dollar moving down to its 200 moving average, and kind of just you know, fully outside day. And if we zoom it in here a little bit, let me include the 100 hours. You can kind of see it's bouncing off of its low, right? So it is kind of catching a little bit of a bounce, and that's something that we definitely would want to be paying attention to going into today. You could see the Australian dollar pretty much holding this downtrend the past couple of days, still testing the lows, looking to get lower. The euro, really trying to hold on, but looking pretty strong here. You can see there's a little bit of these single prints from overnight, but I mean everything's looking pretty strong for the euro. Oil got kind of beat down pretty bad last week, and basically just sitting in a tight little range. Bonds not really doing much, kind of trying to fill that gap. It looks like they're close. We'll put in a lid right here. Apple getting the smackarooski right off the news of China lockdowns. AMD kind of looks like opening on a gap lower. Amazon doesn't, it's fine. Google's back below this gap. It's really trying to repair this previous gap. If it gets accepted below the gap, it could get ugly. Meta opening on a gap lower. Microsoft going to be opening up on a gap lower. Netflix going to be close. Video is going to be opening up on a gap lower. See, the TNX is still coming down here pretty good, so that's not bad news here. I wish you could just put an alert on this. Amazon's the only one that's up today. Yeah, looks like. Tesla looks like it's going to open up at a gap lower. The VIX is actually popping up a little bit. It was down at that 20 level. First time we've seen it down there for a little bit. Now it's popping up to 22. Have to go ahead and keep monitoring that for the rest of the day. As far as economic news, there's really not much going on out there today. A couple Fed speakers. Since we've got some time, we could take a peek at the COT reports. Oh, it's going to come out late again because of the holidays. So stupid. We won't be able to see it until tomorrow. Dumb. So really kind of what we're looking for early on is basically negative internals, right? Negative tick and a break of the Globex low to confirm the short, right? We've got that halfback right there, so we want to go with it, but we want to be cautious of that 39.87 and that previous halfback and previous VPOC. as an area where buyers may step up and responsively buy. So that's where area where we're going to sell into strength, right? So a quick trade there, only about 4 points right off the bat. You can see the VWAP's all the way up at 4,000, but it hasn't really come down with prices much, so not a lot of volume has come down weighted wise. Still got about 10 minutes, guys, so we're pretty much just nailed it. The weak spot on the ES here is 4,001. If it gets above 4,001, we can almost expect there to be some short covering and for the market to kind of trade higher there. Six minutes. How was everyone's holidays? I got set up. Oh, for those in the U.S., I guess it was a holiday not for everyone. Dinner for everyone. Alex in here? Alex said that Apex ripped him off somehow. What happened? This is based off the holiday session. Bro, watch this 4001 level. The weak spot on he's on the watching the Dom on the Nasdaq and the Dow today. I'm gonna try to learn these two. Maybe start trading them more on like maybe like a longer term plays, like an intraday still. Like I'm not gonna like swing trade them or anything, but smaller size and start. You know, remember what we're looking for right here on the open. We've got about 30 seconds now. We're gonna look for a negative breath, a negative tick, and strong negative internals off of the open, and a break of the Globex low as an opportunity to kind of pick up some lunch money on the low side, I think. And if the market breaks up above this 4,001 quarter, I think we might see some short covering. And that could probably take us up to that 4,003 quarter previous high. Here we go. Volatility off the rip. Okay, we're above that 1/4. Well, we tapped it. I think we should buy here. Tough one's a tough one. Nice. Nice. Stop moved up to 3 here. Taking one off at 5. Trailing. Just trailing this one. Stop move up to 350. Nice. Keep it trailing. Stop move up to 4/4. In case we get a rip back. Target here be that 1250, I think. A little bit of overhead volatility. Move my stop up to 5. Ooh, actually, I'm gonna move it back down to 4/4. Actually, the bot got into a put for AMD. Yeah, I mean we're just heading back up to the VWAP for now, or we're kind of bouncing off the VWAP. There we go. All right, let's move our stop up to 6. Actually, up to 7. And we'll just get out on this retracement here if it gets us. Didn't get us. Lucky. 1250 is the target here. Nasdaq's looking strong. You could move your stop to 9/4 right here if you want to be real tight with it. Buyers need to start moving price up right now, or else they're gonna be stuck. Oh, they're making it a competition. There they go. And you shall receive. Short-lived. A lot of selling right there on the 10, but they're not really moving price lower. Now I would say you almost want to put your stop at 9/4 now, for sure, just in case. There you go. Almost got your 1250, and now you got it. So now anything you got left after this year, this is kind of like your TP2, because that's well, we went long at 1/4. So it's 11 points. You know, should have taken one off at 4 points and then one off at 11. So now you're good. Now you don't need to trade at all for the rest of the day. That's 14 points. So yeah, I mean, if you've got anything left, just leave your stop on 9/4, I think, and you're probably good to go. If it gets below 9/4, probably see a little bit of a retracement back down to the VWAP or something like that. But, you know, I'm sorry I wasn't updating the chart. I was trying to manage the trade right there on my chart. So, my B. Decent. Like, the NASDAQ looks strong. Real strong. The Dow even like really like flip the 180 here. You might be able just to ride this thing like all the way up to this 42 where the weak spot was. Remember? We talked about that this morning. A lot of selling here, and they're moving price down. So like they're selling and they're getting some downticks here. Maybe move your stop to like 13 quarter here, just in case they try to make a run at the VWAP, which is down at like this 6 again. Because that could be something that they try. Thanks, Double R. Hope you caught a little piece of Ruski of that. The dollar might spoil the party. Yeah, the dollar is trying to ruin it. Yeah, maybe tough right here. Watch it. Let's see if they tap this 13, and see how they act from there. Look at the breadth is, it's like, you know, it's confused, but the sectors look pretty strong for the most part, so it's really hard to go against that. Weighted AD starting to pick up here. You almost wonder like if sellers are just getting a little bit overzealous here. Here comes that 13. Let's see how they act right here. This is what we're looking for. That was kind of a rare scenario, I guess, where we traded where the tick didn't come back above 0. But the opportunity was just there, so we had to take advantage. Yeah. What do you need? What do you need, Maya? Oh yeah, I don't care. All right, so there's that test of the 13. A little bit of a pop here, but I mean, really, we're just sitting at the 13. So it kind of seems like sellers are trying to move down and push the market lower here. I'm sorry. Unsuccessfully, I might add. All right, fuck it. Move your stop to 13, break even, and then just, if it takes us out right here, it takes us out, whatever. Only went up 1 point from the 13. I thought I was going to get a little bit more of a bounce. Oh, okay, okay. Still in the clear. Oh, battle going on down here. Watch it just snag our 13 and then bounce from there. Yes. Nope, break even trade. Tick coming back down below 600. Well, it's a pretty weak look for the tick there. Even though the response was, pretty, pretty decent bounce. Still inside the Globex range though, and could not break that Globex range high. And we can assume here, some trap shorts. Um, there's probably some trap shorts here around the 10-ish, 10 to 8. And then there's probably some trap shorts here right above the open of 2 to 4. And so, I guess like 8 to 2 is kind of an opportunity to look for selling to dry up to fade the market. But it's, going back to being pretty mixed here. The breadth is actually picking up to the downside on the NYSE. So really the Nasdaq's kind of the only thing holding the market up. And if the Nasdaq starts to turn down, then the rest of the market probably follows suit. Or the Nasdaq could be lagging and the Nasdaq's about to follow suit. Because the Dow's coming down, the ES is coming down, but the Nasdaq is going up. We're only 12 minutes in. What an exciting first 12 minutes, huh? Watch the 10 level. This is where sellers got stuck originally. It was like right here around the 10. Um, there's some big orders that came in around the 10, and then the price just kind of shot up from there. Tough spot to play here, huh? Oops. So tech is getting strong here. 52. It's really bounced. It was down up at like 28. Look at the tick. Getting strong. See if they can run it. They got stuck right on that 10 level again, right where they got stuck earlier this morning too. A lot of short covering here. Let's see if buyers step up. No buyers yet. Buyers need to get above 1450 or they're stuck here. These neighbor dogs are. Nasdaq's breaking its high. Dow's still a ways off. Nasdaq's really pulling the market up right here. Look at tech, 61% there. The tick really trying to climb. Weighted AD's trying to go positive. Such a battle up here. Looks like a tight range these guys are getting into, like 1250 to 15 quarter. So above 15 quarter, we'll probably see some stops run to the upside. But if they start to hang out below 1250, we could start to see some downside, maybe towards that 10 again. Yeah, it looks like it's going. With that 10. So watch the reaction off this 10 here. X cooling off. The financials coming down. A break of this could really drop all the way to the 7. They really need to respect this level here. Watch the tick here. If the tick goes positive, you really got to look out for some short covering. But the continued failure for the tick to go positive is just such a sign of weakness from buying. Even though, we're above the open and we're getting all this strength here, it's just not a great sign for buyers at all, really. Down to the 10. Remember, if they break this 10 level, I mean, really below the 1250, this thing could flush right to the VWAP. There's like 8. Starting to see some selling come in. Nasdaq's pulling off of its highs. Oh my gosh. Sellers are getting embarrassed down here too. So no continuation there really below the 10, not yet at least. You would kind of expect them to go down and try to tap the VWAP. There's a weak spot on the profile at 7 quarter. And then again down at 450 that they may try to go repair. But the sellers are just struggling so hard here. The breadth is not, it's pulled off a little bit. It was like 2.99, it's 2.65 now. So not as negative now. Nasdaq breath is basically neutral. Back to the 10 level here. Anticipation's killing us right now. That's what we're thinking. All right, really, if this thing pops 11 quarter, these sellers are giving it a go here. There they are. Okay. Like, geez, when are they gonna get almost down to the VWAP, but not able to? And they really should hold it here. These sellers should, but now they're stuck. Look, sellers just got stuck on 850. So watch above 11 quarter here. If this thing gets above 11 quarter, you probably just shoot right up to, I don't know, maybe 16. Here's the 11 quarter. Look for these stops to pop out here. A little reoffer. Oh, oh no, they're fucked. Interesting trading right here. Right back to that point of control. So the key here that we need to watch is going to be that X sector. So sitting at 42. We want to see that get above 50. We'd like to see that ticket above 0. It's right there. We'd like to see our weighted AD go positive and our nicey breath turn a little bit more green or turn a little bit less red until it turns green. So we're finally getting a tick above 0. Now let's see if we can time this up correctly, right? So now it's like everyone's sold all the other sectors except tech, and they're like, all right, well, we bought up tech, now let's sell some tech and buy some of this other crap. And that's why it's kind of like going up weekly right here, you know. And now if we start to see tech, our little box right there, start climbing, we should be signaled for liftoff. But they reoffered that 7 or that 11 quarter, excuse me. And that's going to be the launch pad here. If we can start to push this upside. Financials getting a little bit more negative here. Consumer discretionary is popping. Tech's trying to battle itself here. Got some big players on both sides. Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, it looks like whoever's stuck at the 850 wants to get unstuck, and it'll be interesting to see what happens just right below the VWAP. Kind of what I'm waiting on here. Or for us to establish above this 11 quarter, which we have not been able to do yet. There they go. So let's see if they just... No, they didn't get a chance to fix. They're still stuck. So you figure what's happening now is the selling is so weak that they can't push the price under VWAP to buy it back. So that kind of, to me, that kind of looks like a little bit of strength from buyers, but nothing is really telling us that. As tech pulled back, financials got more red. Even the NASDAQ breath went red. Goes. P periods in 4 minutes. Everything's starting to pull off here. Weighted AD's getting pretty negative. Tick's getting back below 600. They're selling underneath the VWAP. That's going to be kind of the key here. If the buyers can't get back above this 4,008, then we'll know that sellers are trying to establish some dominance. This is kind of the range that we're in, I think. Yeah. A little bit of short covering down there, it looks like. So if there's no bounce over the 7/4, then we know it's just short covering. If there's a bounce over the 7/4, then we know there's a little bit of buying. And then buyers will look to establish above the 8 to show that they actually want to take it higher, because that's really the VWAP. So let's see what they do here. Not able to hold above the 8 there. Not yet, at least. 22 and 51 for the call put counts. B period opens up. See what they've got. Still no tick above 0. Not, I mean, not to finish above zero, at least on the 5 minute. Check the volume first. 27%. Oh, it's probably because it's measured from fucking Friday's holiday session. The All right, watch this 8 level here, guys. Might be able to catch a long right here above this. And they reoffered it. Tech's all the way down at 0.23. You can see financials really picking up some steam to the downside. It's a tough task here because gap rules say go with the gap. We've got volume moving down now. We've got value moving down now. We're in a down little trend. But yet the tempo is just so slow to the downside that you kind of are just, you're almost fed up with it. Kind of their trick though. They can kind of lull you to sleep and catch you looking for a long, and then boom, smack you down. Really, I don't really want to touch a long until we get above that 863, the halfback, the 850. That's just right above VWAP. If they offer it again, you could almost fade that using the 11, the 3 point stop um as your stop there. But sellers look trapped. The 850. See, you could almost probably fade this and use like the 11, the cash VWAP as your stop, because sellers are trying to reoffer here. It's tough though, because it's like I want to be getting long here. We're starting to see this pick up, coming back up against this trend. Nice. All right, if we can get back under 6, then we should be in the money. And then we can probably look to trade this thing back down to the open, maybe. If they can keep fucking this up. Hmm. This is tough here. Still just trailing. I still have my stop at 11. I'll let it kind of just bounce around in here a little bit. Maybe take some profit here at the 6, honestly. Not a bad idea. One of my stops was like a mile away. I don't know what happened. Maybe I scrolled it or something. Go fucking find it. We're in a tight little range here. B period just sitting inside of A period. Move your stop to break even now. If it gets above 8, then you just have to try to qualify again, I think. Just gonna move my stop to 8 quarter. I'm short from that 850. I'm just putting my stops 1 tick in profit. Let it ride from. And then if you're still in, this 6 area is an area where you probably want to take a little bit of profit. I would assume. I'm kind of playing the flush, so I'm trying to hold as long as I can without getting caught. That's why one tick in profit is really not that bad. Because I'm looking at the open 4,000. Yeah, and then it takes me out to break even right there, so big deal. It getting above 0. Now this kind of makes me think above this 8 quarter, if the market starts establishing above 8 quarter, we could really honestly look for the long. I know we just got out of a short, but if we see some participation from the rest of our sectors, are you seeing large 1,000 buy orders at 4,006? 4,006? I probably saw that late, Jake. Yeah, 10:04. My bad. Um, the reason I was just saying 4,006 is because that's where all that volume was at. We saw the VPOC shift down, and so like basically, because I was short the 850. Yeah, I was short the 850, basically right where it's at right now. I was short this. Um, it came down once, came down again, and then all this volume came in, and that's why I was trying to hold to play the flush, but I didn't want to get caught in like a launch pad situation. So I just put my stop one tick below break even and consider it a scratch trade. And like, I mean, I could basically try to qualify on either side right here. Um, trying to catch, I was trying to catch a fade. That way, when it gets down to the six, you're only 2 points in profit, 2.5 points in profit or whatever, but you can at least take a couple off. Because typically I'll play three at a time. Oh, the market's doing just absolutely nothing. We don't really have um any speakers or anything until noon today as well. That's 10:04. Watching a book map chart as well. There was 15 hours. $24.50-ish. Autocorrect. Oh, okay. Yeah, there is a big. I do see a big order up there still. I like the long from here. I'm gonna long. I'm gonna get long right here. We gotta go. Gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. Ah, this is a tough spot. All right, got my stop on 8 quarter. This is a tough one here. So depending upon where you got long from, you're okay. I got long from 8 quarter, so I might stop right on my entry, so could just scratch it here. The reason I'm playing like such a little bitch is just because the market's really not trustworthy on either side today. I mean, you can see we're getting some upside here, a nice positive tick, but if you look at tech, well, tech's actually coming back here, and financials is green now, so we're actually looking pretty good. Uh-oh, ching. But then, then the market doesn't go up. It's like, what the fuck's going on here? All right, let's see if we can trap some sellers right here on the 950. $17.64. This 950 area is big. They're just kind of battling right here. So you're seeing the offer move down here and prices moving down a little bit as well. And I mean, not much really, but the tempo is so slow every time the market tries to go down. It's hard to trust any downside. See the NYSE's up 2.32. That's better than it was. Remember, it was 2.66 last time it was around the middle of the open. Six actually positive here. Tech is just still not participating. We just need tech to participate. This is kind of what we talked about, right? We talked about that kind of rotation. So like everyone in the morning just buying tech, buying tech, buying tech, buying tech, the market went up. And then they kind of rotated, and then we get this choppy kind of mess down. Whereas they're taking profit on tech and rotating and buying financials, right? Because financials was negative and now it's come up and the market's come up with it. So basically, what that's telling us is tech didn't come down as much as financials went up, and now everything's green. And so as soon as tech starts to catch a little love again, the proof is in the pudding. We just got to be patient enough to wait for it to happen. Tech's getting smacked down. Good. That was a quick little flush right there. But that was all from Tech. Tech got smacked hard right there. All right, we'll try it again. Long 825. Move my stop to 8. So I'm doing a 1 tick stop here. Move your stop to 8 1/4. Yeah, you can move it to break even. Yeah, break even. Yeah, got us. Could have snagged a little point right there, but let's see if they can get some continuation this time. Tick back below 0. Tempo's picking up too. That's probably the they must have heard that we were saying they didn't have any tempo, because that's about the most tempo we've seen all day. There's some liquidation. Well, see, at least that's why we played that 1 tick stop. I'm kind of bummed that I missed that flush right there. I had to chase. I was in for a good positioning, just couldn't take the heat. Had to get out of the kitchen. The bot's turning green. It went red. Turning green. Nice. Foot counts are climbing. Yeah, the Dow's getting beat down pretty good. Nasdaq as well. Everything's back below its VWAP. Look for them to get the open. There they go. So really, strength would be the break of that Globex low. A little bit of a flush below the open. Seller's kind of stuck on the 150 here. They need to move down. Not really getting any much of a bounce though. They're just kind of backing and filling this weak spot. So let's watch this 4 1/4, 4 1/2. Failure to get above that 4 1/2 is just weakness in buying there. Look at Tech really getting beat down hard here. A little bit of feel that kind of sat on the pin look right there. Weighted AD is actually below 100. Those are kind of the levels that I wait for really on the weighted AD to see strength. I like to see at least 100, right? That's like the minimum I like to see. And so right now we're seeing it on the sell side, so it's actually looking pretty good. Right down to trend, right? This trend is from the Globex low. Remember what level we were watching? I know it's like, oh, I want to buy this, I want to buy this, but like, 4,000 and 450 is the level you really need to see it get above to show you that there's some buyers in there. Failure to break the Globex low is definitely a sign of weakness, though. But we're still a little ways off of that. It would be, I think, safer to be more patient than to just buy here. But I really, yeah, let it get up there. You'll get this overhead resistance, and then these sellers, if they haven't taken profit here, they'll start to cover their last little bits here and a little bit of profit, and then that should at least take us up to the 13. But to the low here, I still kind of like this. I like this breakdown. If the market breaks below this 96 half, it's kind of a weak spot in Globex. I think we'll at least go repair this poor low and may head down to that 87. And that would be kind of a target that I would look for to sell. 96. Like 95 half. Now we're back into this kind of area where we took our initial long today, right? We took our initial long from 1/4, and the market caught a nice little pop, but that was all off of tech, and now tech is getting beat down pretty bad. A little bit of short covering there. So the market's once again like kind of doing this thing where the tempo gets real slow, the tick starts to look weak, we start to get kind of a mixed look, and then the last time it was a little pop lock and then flush a Ruski back down right to where we started at. The shorts that covered expect to bounce at 4K. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. And really, if sellers can't, establish the market below the open, then that's just kind of pathetic, right? We're watching the 4 half. D period opens up. Let's see if the short covering continues past into C period here. So far, they're continuing the short covering here. They're trying to entice these buyers here. Nasdaq getting smacked down a little bit. Is Jared in here? No. I was gonna say I figured out if anyone's having issues with Sierra charts showing the wrong P&L, you've just got to right click, go to your chart settings, and then go to trading, and then at the very bottom you'll click load order fills from current date only. Click OK, and that'll show you your actual P&L. Curtis, Curtis, did you eat breakfast? Did you cut bullets? Okay. The kids have the day off of school today because it's hunting season. One second, guys. Sorry about that. Workout trend. Hey, hello, hi. So Nasdaq catching a little bit of a bounce, trying to come up to its VWAP. The Dow's doing the same. ES is kind of on the same little path. More of a grind than anything. Kind of right back to that 50. We're right at that 4.5 level. This was kind of that level that we talked about. If they don't re-offer this 4.5 here, we should go back up to that, what was it, 950? So they re-offer it one time. So watch to see how it acts again here when it comes back up to this 40.5. Or 04.5, excuse me, 40.5. Watch the tick here as well. All right, anything below -12, or I guess above -12, is going to be positive for the market. So the Nasdaq's trying to pop up here. Nasdaq's almost back to its VWAP. Yes, VWAP's up at 7.5. 6, and basically 7 right here. The Dow's still a little ways off its VWAP. Five and 74, call puts. Nasdaq's kind of just pausing right below the VWAP. There it goes, catches a nice bounce. So back to the 450 here. Let's see if they don't offer this level again. We should look back to that 950 where that original offer was from during B period, and we kind of broke the low. Starting to get some volume lower here though, so we're seeing volume and value kind of shift lower. 1 TPO, 2 TPOs, 3 TPOs, volume, volume's trying to come in. You would almost kind of assume, right, they've got to pop this and then retest these kind of weak spots to see if sellers are going to continue to sell that. Tech is at 11, -11. So tech's at 10 now, and watch the tick. If tick starts to go green, we get a boost of the NASDAQ. Be good to go here. It's a little early though to try to time it, but we're just right at this 450 level here. They're offering the 4 again. NASDAQ just sitting right below its VWAP here. Yeah, it's kind of just unable to get anything going. Volume moved down as well. We didn't see the VPOC shift down yet, but we've got volume moving down in value. A rare day where we play both sides of the market here because of the opportunity. But it's really just because the retracements are, kind of pretty big. You see this big move up and then retrace the whole move and then, retrace about probably a quarter of the move and then back down here to almost where we got in our original position at 1/4. Look at all the volume coming in right here. They offer that 4 level pretty heavy, but we're not really moving down much lower. I'm actually kind of surprised. Buyers are stepping up here. There they go. There's some more volume lower there. Back to the open. Nasdaq's coming back down. Dow's about to break its low. Dow's getting pretty close to breaking its low. Back to a very psychological level, the 4,000. What's up, All Stars? A lot of offering coming down here. There's just a lot of bids kind of stacked right here, so they're gonna have to chew through a lot of volume. But it does kind of look like stop losses are just like set up. Make a run to the downside. It kind of looks like liquidation. Like maybe. So you trapped a bunch of people, popped it up, liquidated, trapped a bunch more, liquidated, trapped a bunch more, liquidated, maybe. See if they can break that Globex low. Or low off the open. Back to the open. Oh, you sent me some messages on Discord? I'll check them after the stream. You got your ninja working? Nice. So sellers are going to have to maintain below this, or they're going to try to maintain below this open. But that 450 level, really, where we saw that last offer come through, is kind of the key. Remember, we're still looking at going with this 95 half here. If this C-low breaks, I want to get on that and try to take it really down to that 87, honestly. You got some points, but on sim, yeah, gotta practice. Volt is way down. Weighted AD's down. Tick's coming back down below 0 or below 600 almost. Weighted AD's picking up to the downside. Breath is even picking up. Look at here, 2.9. Tick is where we said 0.1, negative 0.12. Financials did a complete 180. And then we get this slow tempo and just like lure in all the buyers. Like, come on, yeah, it's gonna bounce from here. Just buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it. And then they flush them out. Or they do a fake pop to flush us out. Flush out the weak sellers and then sell it down. That's what got us last time. Even though we didn't, they were scratch trades, so it wasn't really lost. But it was we were waiting on a flush, and the market kind of lured us back onto the long side. Market's just so slow today. My goodness. Remember, we're looking for it to go with this break right here. I even like to go with the break of this low down here. Dun, 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 dun. See some continuation. A little bit of short covering there on 94. If they don't break this fucking glow back slow, I swear to God. The bot should be in profit now, right?
Yeah, the bot's doing well.
Nice.
I'm about 10, 11% up-ish.
Nice.
It should be doing its double down here pretty soon. It's got a little ways to go though. I don't know if it'll actually get out on its own. I may have to actually close it manually because I don't know if we have enough room below us unless this thing goes past the halfback.
It's just so weak to like break. You're just like, come on, break.
Counts are 1 and 105, so it's at least showing signs that it's headed that way.
The Nasdaq's trying to pop here a little bit. Might have some stuck sellers on the 95 half there. Not sure. Right where I got you. Damn, this is boring today, guys. My goodness. Had at least a little nice trade off the open, but everything else has just been oh slow here. It's crazy. I see like a double bottom look here on the ES. Globex low kind of sitting here waiting for it to break. Tech is picking up at 25. I feel like it's almost certain that we go to 90. I feel like that P low is just so weak, going right to that the edge of that other distribution that like it really just makes sense that we just go to 90. D period opens up. We've got some single prints above. See if we can get the liquidation. Or I'm short the 95 half here. Might have to cut it. Flat. Oh, it's a loss. 1.25. Wow. Just pathetic. It's the weakest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. A little bit of volume coming in down here. I like the short opportunity again from the same spot. Right here, 96, 95 half. I'd have to wait till like night below 95 to get short to try to take the edge off. You figure what's probably happening today is you have a bunch of shorter time frame sellers, scalpers that are probably trying to short right here at the low, trying to catch the break, and then every time they get back tick, they have to close because they never know when they're going to get flushed just because of how weak the market is. So they're really trying to time it perfectly, and by by doing that, they're throwing down heavy size, but sometimes that's not enough, and then that means they're buying back heavy size right away if it doesn't go their way. And that's what's causing these little pops, I think. Because I mean, like pretty much the market says down is the way today.
Healthcare flipped red.
Yeah, pretty much everything's flipping now. Consumer discretionary was up full 1%. Now it's just barely up. Seeing the icy breath is 317. Well, I think it'd be nicer if we got like this tick back below 600. Could be a little bit of buyers getting trapped right here on the 96 half. Break up. And rejected. So we really could start trending here down. I shorted the 96 there, but I'm just gonna put my stop at 96 quarter. Can't get continuation. I'm getting kind of frustrated messing with this. Caught a nice trade off the open. Basically, every trade after that is just kind of a scratch because we're not getting any continuation. And still nothing. The ES is at its low. Dow's at its low. Nasdaq is the only thing really not as weak, which is interesting because the Dow was kind of the leader last week, really kind of holding up the strength, and the Nasdaq is taking its turn. Seeing some sector rotation. That kind of believes leads me to believe that maybe there's some money in the market here. That maybe there's some people buying this dip, some bigger players that bought this dip or maybe are buying this dip. I don't know. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can get some continuation here for the at least to the 90. I'm gonna take some off at the 90. I feel like we have to go to the 90. Get going. So we repair that Globex poor low and weak low. Now the D low is right to the tick of that lower distribution. Short covering comes in on 92.5. Huge fan of that at all. I want to see this get back below this 90. Oh, uh-oh. The bounce is still within the downtrend. EPO bootcamp in my Discord. The Discord. Are you in there? Know something? So barely hanging on by the skin of my teeth. My stop's at 96 here. Might even want to ask if the market breaks. Flat right there. Brazil, and then this. So 4x. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna call it early. Um, it's just not there's nothing going on, and it's kind of just like a waste of time to just sit here. I do want to let those Apex users know. Um, football. Oh, nice. Um, is Tommy in here? I was gonna talk some smack to him. No. I got an email about like the change in rules for Apex or something like that. So just be aware of that, I guess, and keep an eyes out for that. Um, but yeah, pretty much here, as far as the rest of the day is concerned, I would use the open as kind of my pivot point. If we can get above the open and start to show some strength, there's good odds that they go up. What was that, level 9 earlier, and kind of test like this weak spot in this profile. So there's an opportunity to catch a little trade up there. Of course, you're going to want to see the sectors pay attention. You're going to want to see the tick also continue to trend your way and maybe see that weighted AD cool off and catch a little bit of upside. As far as the downside goes, I think you can probably do the same thing, maybe short below the open. I've been shorting off this 96 level. I like it. It gets below this 96. Try to get short. Caught a couple there. Not as great as I wanted to, and then took them the rest of them off basically break even. So it's basically a wash. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Downtrend today. What changed? Didn't get any email. Let me see. That was it was like a Black Friday or a Cyber Monday type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, they had an 80%. They just sent a that says only 7 days to qualify and pass an evaluation account, but you
Yeah,
receive 100% of the first 25K paid out, and then only 10 days to qualify for first withdrawal, and 10 days for all future withdrawals. Two
yeah.
payouts
So
per month. And they're saying that it applies to all current accounts also. Oh, I guess maybe that's just the 2 payouts per month. But 7 days to qualify, so you have to be pretty,
aggressive.
yeah. There wasn't a limit before, was it? It was just that whenever you qualified.
No, so you have to trade for at least 7 days. So it's not. There's no limit. There's never been a limit. But before you had to trade for at least 10 days. So now it's saying that you can qualify your account in 7 days. So instead of having to, if you're out there gambling the account
Oh,
and you
got it,
finish it
got
in
it.
7 days, then you don't have to shut it down.
And only 10 days to qualify for first withdrawal, which used to be 30 days or 25 days, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, so they're making it easier, I guess.
They just want more people to start gambling their PA accounts.
Oh, wow. And the 80% off and 80% off recurring is extended until Monday, December 5th. So an extra week.
Oh, nice.
So you have until next Monday to decide.
All right. Well, other than that, you guys make sure that you are managing risk and sticking to your trade plan. I'll see you guys in the Discord. I don't really have anything going on today. The kids are off, so who knows? We might get into something. The weather's kind of shit though. So yeah, other than that, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will catch you guys tomorrow.